Coach, after a weekend like that, do you view you take 3 or 4? Is it just as simple as it's a success for you? With that, regardless of how the last game goes.
Yeah, I think it was still a successful weekend. Obviously, we'd like to have taken all 4 games. Fortunately, there was some losses in some of the other games that we still maintain a 2-game lead in the loss column. So I thought we played well. Obviously, the 4th game didn't start the way we wanted it to, but we still came back and played well. Played with a lot of energy and a lot of heart, and just weren't able to pull it out. So all in all, yeah, it was a successful weekend.
Is that about the kind of atmosphere that you normally get when you play Cameron? Were there any surprises for that?
It's always interesting, and there's a lot of emotion on and off the field, and Cameron's very talented. We knew that coming in. Coach DeLong does a great job. They're offensive, and they showed that in Game 4, and it's become a great rivalry.
And you talked about the illegal pitches from the other pitcher. When you're getting frustrated by it, how do you kind of keep the composure of your players as well?
Well, I thought there was a point in Game 3 that we were letting a lot of things outside of the game affect us, and I tried to refocus us a little bit in a couple of the huddles in between innings, and then in between games I made a comment that if you don't put somebody away and you let them hang around, they think they can beat you, and I think some of that frustration boiled over, and I think it had a lot to do with the entire day.
You have a long road trip this weekend going down to Kingsville. Kind of give us a preview of that matchup. You guys taking a long road trip.
Yeah, Kingsville's playing really well right now. They took 4 at Portales last week, scored a lot of runs. I think they had 19 in Game 4, so they're playing well. We need to make sure that we travel well. Number one, I mean, it's going to be a long trip down on Thursday to Corpus, and we've got to stay, kind of relaxed but still dialed in on the trip, and then get up Friday and come out and those games are going to be critical. We got to come off the road, get on the field, and get out and really compete on Friday, and hopefully if we can do what we need to do on Friday, lead into a good day on Saturday.
From what I noticed from this past weekend was you guys are always pretty vocal as a dugout, and just at bat. It felt like Cameron was almost mimicking you guys with some of the cheers that you guys do, and it almost felt like they were kind of poking the bear, so to speak. Is it a matter of getting your team to handle getting poked a different way, or is there you want them to get angry with something like that?
Without a doubt, and I think sometimes you have to understand that that's a sign of respect to a point when teams try to act like you. You can't let it get to a negative side and affect you on the negative side, but it's difficult. Sometimes when those things happen, and they poke the bear, and that's okay. And it's been interesting that sometimes comments are made. In the last couple of weeks we've heard, anytime you take 1 game from WT, it's a successful weekend, and that's an interesting comment, and that's an interesting mindset. But obviously something we have to deal with, and we have to understand that every team's going to give us their best challenge, and they're going to try and do whatever they can to try and break our momentum or gain an advantage, and we just have to keep doing what we do.